Hi, my name is Juliet and welcome to my space. This is my very first video, so welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am also new. And today I want to talk to you about quitting smoking, which is a very random topic, but I used to be a smoker for about 9 to 10 years. When I was quitting, I looked up a lot of videos on YouTube that really helped me, and I wanted to make some kind of video that would help someone else out there who also wanted to quit smoking. So if you're watching this, you probably want to quit smoking, or you're just looking out for a friend maybe who wants to quit. Whatever the reason is, you came to this video. I started when I was 13 or 14 and I quit when I was 23. That was last year, and I've quit now for about 7 months. June last year, so it's now January. So yeah, about 7 months. At the end of January, actually, or in 2 days, actually 7 months. So I've tried to stop so many times. I think I've quit more than I can count by now. Had a few months where I actually quit smoking. So that was my first successful quit. But now, obviously, after that I started again. Now I've quit for good, which I would like to think that I quit for good because I don't really miss it. And I think a lot of the people on YouTube, when they talk about quitting smoking, and a lot of people don't, it feels so great for them to quit smoking. Everything in their lives has changed and they feel amazing and great every single day, and they're so grateful for quitting. And I am really grateful that I finally quit smoking and that I managed to not smoke again. But it's not like my whole life has changed and all of the things that weren't great are great now. It's kind of, the differences were, or the changes are slight. They are better, but they're slight. The main thing for me is that I just simply forget that I smoke. Or I smoked. I simply forget to smoke, and that's the beauty of it. It's not in my experience anymore. It's not. I don't have any cravings for it anymore. I don't want it anymore, and that's the biggest change for me. So what I would like to do in this video is give you some tips that helped me to quit smoking, because, well, everyone is different, and everyone goes through different life experiences and mental states. So in my previous attempts, weren't always the same things that helped me. Every single time that I wanted to quit, I looked up different things because I was going through different things at that time. So it's not going to be, or maybe it is. Every person is different. So for every person, it's going to be different, and that's fine. You should do what works for you best, and not really look at anyone else, or try to, I don't know what to say. But you should just do what works best for you at that moment in time. It doesn't have to be, oh, this works for everyone, so it will work for you. It's not like that. People are different. People have different experiences. So I would like to give you some tips that helped me to stay off smoking until now. So that's 7 months no smoking. The turning point for me this time around was really when I started living healthier. So I started eating healthier, and I started to work out a lot more, and I started running. But the thing was, when I finished running, I would go home and I would light a cigarette, which is so contradictory. So that was really the turning point for me. And it was also this voice in my head who was always just kicking me to the ground. Every time I smoked a cigarette, it would say, I hate myself, I'm ashamed for what I do, I want to quit so badly, but I can't. This voice just became so loud in my mind that I started hating myself for quitting, or for smoking, and I started being ashamed for smoking. And I would walk across the street and I would light my cigarette, but as soon as I saw people, I just put it out and obviously pollute the entire planet. So that's another thing that's not really great about smoking. But in this video, I'm not going to talk about all the bad things, because we know all the things that are bad for us when we smoke. You have people with lung cancer who still smoke. So just warning us about the health risks, it won't help. It won't help us to quit smoking, or some of us will, you know. You could look up horror stories about smoking, and sometimes it will help when you see someone that bad. I mean, I was scared for my health as well, and it helped a little bit, but it didn't help a lot. It didn't push me over that edge. So I want to give you some tips about quitting smoking, and this is what helped for me this time. And it might not at all help you, or maybe one tip will help you and maybe won't, but this is what really helped me for this quit attempt, successful quit attempt. So what I said, different things help for people at different times, and I can't stress this enough, because we all go through different mental states and we all have different experiences, and smoking is physical, you get addicted physically, but it's more so mentally. If you go into your quit and you have a really good mental state and you don't miss it and you're so determined and you just quit, 9 out of 10 times you quit successfully. Because when I quit and I feel like something was taken away from me, that was when I would relapse and go back into smoking. But this time I just said to myself, you're just gonna do it, because that voice, annoying voice that just became so present in my head, it was really bad. Different things help at different times, so keep searching. If you think that the tips online don't help you, keep looking. Tip number 2, this was the one that really helped me. Some of you might have heard of Sadhguru, who is a spiritual leader, or spiritual master, speaker, public speaker, spiritual man, yogi, I don't really know. He's really good at what he does. He's a spiritual leader online, and he has a YouTube channel, and he has one about smoking, or just addiction in general. And he said that you shouldn't give power to the drug. You shouldn't say to yourself that smoking or drinking or whatever you want to get rid of is bad for you, because you give it more power, and you give it the power that it doesn't need, and it creates this thing that, oh, it's bad for me, so I'm bad for doing it. So, you know, that whole mental cycle of saying that over and over just makes you feel bad and makes you not productive, and it's just not good for you. So what I did, or what he says, is smoking is not bad for you, it's just stupid, because you have an ecological body which is not built for smoking. So you strip the power away from it, and it creates, you know, this lighter mental state for you that is better than, oh, it's so bad for me, and oh, I can't do this, and you know. So it's just, you feel lighter, you feel more, oh, the pressure, that's what I was looking for. The pressure is off of you, because it's not bad for you, it's just stupid, no. But it's your choice, and if you feel good with smoking, I'm not here to judge. I don't judge based on anything, but especially smoking, because I did it, obviously. Okay, another big tip is do not avoid social gatherings when you quit smoking. Tip number 3, do not avoid social gatherings when you quit smoking. And this is a very good tip from Carr, which you probably heard of if you quit smoking, because he's like the most popular person with the book Easy Way to Quit Smoking, I think it is, which I have read obviously twice. And that actually also helped me in my last attempt, but it didn't this time, because I was already kind of like, I know what you're doing, it's not working for me. So yeah, he says to not avoid social gatherings, because it's important for you, if you quit smoking, that you do not change your whole routine. So if you quit smoking, you have to learn everything from scratch again. You know, you have to learn how to behave in social situations, and you have to learn how to cope with alcohol, because alcohol obviously triggers a lot of your urges for smoking. So that's a really good tip. Just stay in your normal routine and do the normal things, because that way you just get into your new life, which will be your old life of you as an ex-smoker. Another tip is tip number 4. Do not replace smoking with any other habit, not even if it's a healthy habit. You shouldn't replace it with food, you know, eating food or chewing on celery sticks, because it will just be more difficult for you to get off that. So you're simply just, you know, you're replacing it by something that is labeled as healthier, but you're still overindulging in it. And they say that when you quit smoking that you gain a lot of weight. That's not true. I think it actually is about 2 to 5 kilos, and I don't know how much that is in pounds, but it's 2 to 5 kilos, which is not a lot. And I didn't actually gain anything, and if I did, I lost it all again. So I actually wound up being more healthy, and it's only been 7 months, which is crazy to me because I've been living so much healthier. And the thing you can replace this with, and this is a very good tip of Joel Spitzer, and he has a whole channel about quitting smoking, and he has videos for you with day 1 of quitting, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and I think the first week. So if you really need some help per day, you can go to his channel. I will link all of the people that I mentioned here down below, by the way, in the videos that I have referenced off. Joel Spitzer says that you can replace it with deep breathing. You can't actually gain weight by breathing deeply, and it's a good and a healthy way to just get through your cravings, because if you feel a craving, it will go away within minutes, and every craving becomes shorter. But that's all dependent on your mental state as well. I mean, I think by day 5, I quit this time. I had a birthday, which I just drank a lot, didn't smoke, and that was actually an easier day than day 6 or 7. So it's really dependent on what your mental state is. You know, just do your normal things. But it can be really difficult, and I understand that because I've had some difficult moments as well with this quit. So tip number 5, which is for me the most important tip, is to have patience. Because with this quit, I was in full agreement with myself that I quit, obviously, or I wouldn't have quit. But it was about 6 months, and I then really came to the realization that I didn't miss smoking anymore, which is crazy because it's been 6 months. And it doesn't mean that the first 5 months were complete hell. They weren't. I think by month 3 it became really easy for me to just not think about smoking, because that's the thing, your life doesn't change that much. You just, at least did for me, you just forget that you smoke. That's basically it. But after 6 months, that was the turning point for me where I really didn't miss smoking anymore. And I'm really happy that I got to that place, and I know you can too. You know, every person online says, if I can quit, you can quit. And that's really true, and it may not feel like it, but it's really true, because we're all the same at the end of the day, going through different experiences. But you can do it, you really can. So those were my tips. These are the things that I like most about quitting. And number 1 is that the voice in your head disappears. You know, that annoying voice that I talked about, she, he, whatever, disappears. It's not there anymore, and it won't come back because I'm not smoking. The best thing about it, number 2 for me, is you don't smell when you come out of the shower. And you know, when you smoke, you shower and you wash yourself and you feel really good and you smell really nice, but then you smoke again and that kind of all goes away. So now the first times I didn't smoke after I showered, it was just a new experience for me, because your hair smells really bad when you smoke. My hair doesn't smell anymore. You know how nice that is. It's such an underrated benefit of smoking. Well, maybe it isn't, but I never really came across that. So yeah. Number 3, the best thing about quitting smoking for me is when you're with people, you don't have to leave the room to smoke a cigarette. So when you're playing a game with people, it just makes you more social. And when people go out and they want to have a cigarette, you're like, but why? It's so fun just being here. Now why do you want to interrupt the game? That's another thing. You won't envy smokers anymore, you know. And that also comes with the fifth, I don't know, thing, is that you don't have to go out in the cold to smoke anymore, because nobody really smokes inside anymore. That's kind of a thing out of the 50s, like 90s, 2000s, but you know. So that was my story about quitting smoking and my tips and the thing that I like most. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you liked it. I'm really grateful for you that you made it this far. And if you want to subscribe, you can. If you don't, that's also okay. And I hope to see you in my second video. So goodbye.